everybody, welcome back to my channel. So today I will be sharing with you some tips on how to dance with a disability, and this can be extended into how to choreograph or even improv, stuff like that. So yeah, let's get straight into it. So the number one tip I have is explore. So what do I mean by this? Literally just sit down, play some music. You can choose to look in a mirror or not, and you're just gonna explore the range that perhaps your upper body has. Okay, so for example, if you have a lower body disability, you are paralyzed from the waist down. You can only, dance from the waist up. But you're always kind of doing the same thing, just like vibing, moving your hands like this. If you're stuck in that way, what I recommend is kind of just going body part by body part. Maybe, for example, focus on your arms. Okay, so take out your left arm, and you can just kind of like see what range of motion the entire arm has first. You're gonna go in circles, see, okay, yeah, is this comfortable for me? Does it aggravate any condition that I have? Stuff like that. After that, maybe you can go down to your elbow, and you can kind of like bend it. See which way it can bend. Can it drop this way? Can it drop that way? Can it like isolate by itself, or does my whole body go with it? Okay, and then after that you can move on to your wrist. Okay, so here you can also kind of not experiment, but be more aware of your body to see what is the limit, to make sure you don't strain your joints, because when we get excited we can kind of overdo it a little bit and strain our joints, especially for those of us with hypermobility. So just exploring this, seeing what your maximum is without compensating at your other body parts would be really good. And believe it or not, you can even go down to your fingers, so you can kind of play with each finger. With a disability, you don't have access to perhaps a large part of your body or even a small part, and not having access to even like your toes. If one of your toes is sprained, you'll notice how much that throws you off. You can't do so many things. So once a part of you is not accessible, every other part really matters. So don't underestimate what fingers can do in a choreography. Just like if there's a beat drop and you just go, it can help so much. You don't always have to like do a big movement. All right, so yeah, that's my number one tip. Sit down, explore each body part, and just see what you can do. Number two, explore your angles. You don't always have to be facing front and doing stuff. You can even turn to the side, and your entire choreography can be from the side. And this is really interesting because it's a perspective thing, isn't it? If you do this, it's gonna look different from if I do this, obviously, because you can only really see one arm, can't you? Even if I'm moving both, you only really see the effect of one. Yeah, and you can really play with what are the things that are more effective sideways rather than front way. For example, your jawline is much more visible from the side than the front. So if you're gonna do this at the front as opposed to this at the side, I reckon you're gonna have a lot of a bigger effect, a sharper effect if you do it from the side. So play with angles and figure out what is more impactful from the front, from the side, diagonally, or even from the back. Whee! The last tip I have for you is something I harp on again and again in each tutorial I make. Contrast. So you need to make sure that your audience has a lot of variety to look at, because the human eye does not like monotonous choreographies. For example, if there's a dancer on stage for 3 minutes and they're just doing impressive stunt after impressive stunt, they're doing flips, they're doing splits, they're doing pirouettes, as opposed to another dancer who's like, all right, you got some flow, got some rhythm, oh, suddenly they do a pirouette. back to that flow, back to that rhythm. Oh, suddenly they did a really cool flip. Everyone is gonna like this person more because they kind of keep people on the edge of their seat, as opposed to this person who just looks like they're showing off. And within maybe 30 seconds, everyone will already know the maximum ability of this person and no longer be impressed. Whereas with this person, they go, you know, up and down, and they keep people interested with those. So that's what you gotta do with your disability. You have to add in a lot of contrast to make sure people are still interested. So that's why you gotta go flowy, and then you gotta go sharp, and then you gotta go flowy, and then you gotta go sharp. Stuff like that. So I have uploaded 2 dance tutorials already if you want to go check them out. I thought I would make this video tips instead because I wanted to change it up a little bit, and I mean, it'd be good for me to give you tips on how to choreograph yourself, because I mean, it's one thing for me to give you the fish, but if I teach you how to fish, that's great too. So yeah, those were my 3 main tips. Explore your range, play with angles, and add lots and lots of contrast between flowy movements and sharp movements. And I think that would be a great stepping stone for you to start choreographing, or even like you could use these tips for when you're at a party or you're at the club. Hopefully once COVID is over, of course. I think everyone deserves to know how to dance no matter what kind of body they're in. And it would suck to, like, even if you're just injured, you're like, oh, I can't do anything. That's not true. You can actually get really creative and make something very unique, and I figured these tips would help you. So yes, that is all I have for you today. Make sure to follow me on my Instagram @withnavya, where I share a lot more content. And yeah, I will see you next time. Bye!